This woman want to see you die. She took your picture to a seer and was shocked to learn about your. My beloved child. Come closer and listen with a quiet heart, because what I am about to tell you is not meant to frighten you, but to free you. There are moments in your life when confusion feels heavier than pain, when you sense something is wrong but cannot name it, when your spirit feels watched, questioned, and weighed by unseen eyes. You have felt that lately. You wondered why your energy has felt drained, why your joy has been interrupted without reason, why your name has been spoken in places you have never stepped into. My beloved child, this awareness did not come to you by accident. There are people who look at your light and feel uncomfortable, not because you have done anything wrong, but because your existence reminds them of what they have lost within themselves. One such presence has been lingering around your life, not always close, sometimes far, but always attentive. This is not about obsession of the body, but jealousy of the soul. She looked at you and saw strength where she carries wounds, hope where she holds bitterness, and purpose where she feels forgotten. And instead of healing herself, she turned her gaze outward. My beloved child, understand this clearly. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well, and not everyone who wishes you harm does so openly. Some intentions travel quietly, whispered in hidden conversations, carried through curiosity that turns dark. This woman did not come to understand you with love. She sought answers about you through places that promised secrets, not truth. She wanted confirmation of her fear, that you are protected, that you are guided, that your path cannot be easily broken. When she carried your image to someone claiming to see beyond the veil, she expected to hear weakness. She expected to hear that you were vulnerable, that your future could be disturbed, that your path could be bent. Instead, what she encountered shocked her spirit. Not because of doom, but because of defense. Not because of death, but because of destiny. She learned that touching what is protected invites consequences. And this knowledge unsettled her. My beloved child, let this not alarm you. Let it anchor you. The fact that someone sought insight into your life without love already tells you how powerful your presence is. People do not investigate what is insignificant. They do not fear what carries no light. They do not feel threatened by those who walk without purpose. You have been moving forward quietly, but your soul has been loud. You may ask why I allowed you to sense this disturbance instead of shielding you completely from it. The answer is simple. Awareness is also protection. When you become conscious, fear loses its grip. Darkness cannot survive long in the presence of clarity. I wanted you to understand that not every battle requires confrontation. Some require only distance, silence, and trust. My beloved child, do not look for her face. Do not search for her name. Do not replay conversations in your mind trying to identify who this might be. That is not your task. Curiosity can pull you into the same emotional trap that caught her. Your role is not to expose, but to elevate. The moment you rise above, her influence dissolves. Understand this truth deeply. No intention formed from envy can override protection rooted in love. No spoken word formed from bitterness can cancel a destiny written with purpose. You are not fragile. You are not unguarded. You are not alone. What surrounds you cannot be penetrated by ill wishes or misguided rituals. Still, my beloved child, I must warn you gently. Not everyone who feels threatened by your light wishes you physical harm. Some wish for your spirit to dim, your confidence to weaken, your peace to fracture. They hope you will doubt yourself. They hope you will grow tired. They hope you will stop trusting your intuition. That is the true danger, not death, but disconnection from your inner voice. That is why I am speaking to you now. You have been sensing moments of heaviness, sudden sadness without cause, distractions pulling you away from your goals, sleep disturbed by thoughts that do not belong to you. These were not signs of weakness. They were signals. Signals telling you to strengthen your boundaries, to guard your energy, to choose silence over explanation, and faith over fear. My beloved child, you are entering a phase where your growth will become visible. When light rises, shadows stretch. This is not punishment. It is confirmation. The closer you move toward alignment, the more resistance tries to whisper doubt into your ears. But whispers cannot command you unless you listen. So listen instead to this: you are being redirected, not attacked. You are being refined, not targeted. You are being protected in ways you cannot yet see. Do not share your plans with everyone. Do not explain your healing to those who benefited from your pain. Do not seek validation from people who feel uncomfortable with your progress. Silence will do more for you now than words ever could. My beloved child, I did not reveal this to make you afraid of others. I revealed it so you would trust yourself more. So you would stop ignoring the moments when your spirit quietly says, "Step back." So you would honor the unease instead of questioning it away. There is nothing attached to you that can end your life, break your destiny, or steal your future. What was intended to confuse you has already been neutralized. What was spoken without love has returned to silence. What was looked upon with envy has been sealed with protection. Now breathe. Release the tension you did not know you were holding. Lift your shoulders. Relax your mind. You are safe. You are guided. You are watched over by forces far stronger than human intention. And remember this, my beloved child. The same light that made her curious is the light that will carry you forward. My beloved child. As you continue listening, let your heart remain open but calm, because what unfolds now is not about what others tried to do, but about who you are becoming. You are stepping into a season where truth rises gently, not loudly, and where strength is revealed through stillness, not struggle. You may not realize it yet, but the awareness you received has already shifted something within you. You are more alert, more grounded, more selective. That is growth. You do not need to guard yourself with fear. Fear builds walls that also block light. Instead, you are learning to guard yourself with wisdom. Wisdom does not panic. Wisdom observes, understands, and then chooses peace. You are no longer required to react to everything you sense. Some energies dissolve the moment you refuse to engage with them. My beloved child, there is something important you must understand now. Not every spiritual disturbance is an attack. Sometimes it is an invitation to rise to a higher level of awareness. When you were unaware, your light still existed, but now you are conscious of it. Conscious light is different. It becomes intentional. It becomes directed. It becomes powerful. The woman who sought answers about you did not gain power over you. She gained information that frightened her. She learned that your path is not easily influenced, that your spirit is not open to manipulation, and that your life carries a covering that cannot be explained through ordinary means. This is why she felt shocked. Not because of what could be done to you, but because of what could not. You must let this settle into your heart. You are not someone whose destiny can be altered by words spoken in secrecy or thoughts carried in jealousy. You are not someone whose life can be shortened by another person's bitterness. Your breath, your steps, your timing, all of it is aligned with something greater than human intention. Still, my beloved child, I guide you now toward responsibility, not fear. Protection does not mean carelessness. It means awareness paired with discipline. There are small changes I ask you to make, not because you are in danger, but because you are evolving. Choose your words carefully. Not everything you think needs to be spoken. Silence will protect your energy more than explanation ever will. Choose your company wisely. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your struggles, or your dreams. Choose rest when your body asks for it. Fatigue weakens intuition, and intuition is one of your greatest strengths. You may notice that people begin to react to you differently. Some will become distant without reason. Some will try to pull you back into old patterns. Some will test your boundaries, not because they hate you, but because they sense you are changing. Let them react. Your task is not to manage their emotions. Your task is to remain aligned with yourself. My beloved child, there is also healing taking place within you that you have not named yet. Old fears, inherited worries, and self-doubt have been loosening their grip. You are learning that peace is not something you earn by suffering. It is something you allow by trusting. The more you trust, the less influence outside noise will have over you. You do not need rituals. You do not need charms. You do not need protection objects. Your protection lives in your clarity, your integrity, and your ability to remain connected to your inner voice. When you feel unsure, pause. When something feels heavy, step back. When peace leaves the room, you are allowed to leave too. My beloved child, there will be moments when your mind tries to replay what you heard, trying to imagine worst-case outcomes. Do not follow those thoughts. They are not intuitive warnings, they are echoes of fear. True intuition speaks calmly. It does not rush. It does not threaten. It guides quietly and firmly. What lies ahead for you is not darkness, but expansion. Opportunities will open that require confidence. Paths will appear that require courage. Connections will form that require discernment. You are being prepared, not protected out of weakness, but protected because of purpose. You may soon experience a sudden sense of clarity about certain relationships. You may feel drawn to let go of habits that once comforted you. You may feel an urge to create, to build, to focus on something meaningful. These are not random impulses. They are signs that your spirit is aligning more fully with its direction. My beloved child, do not be surprised if the very people who once doubted you begin to observe you quietly. When you stop explaining yourself, people pay attention. When you stop chasing approval, respect follows. When you stop feeding fear, strength grows. Remember this always: light does not need to fight darkness. It only needs to exist. The moment you choose peace, confusion retreats. The moment you choose self-respect, manipulation loses its grip. The moment you choose faith, fear loses its voice. You are not here to live cautiously. You are here to live consciously. There is a difference. Caution shrinks you. Consciousness expands you. You are learning to trust your steps even when you cannot see the entire road ahead. And my beloved child, there is one more truth I must place gently into your heart. Not everyone who distances themselves from you is being removed because of harm. Some are being removed because they cannot follow you where you are going. Growth changes altitude. Not everyone can breathe where you are headed. So walk forward without resentment. Walk forward without suspicion. Walk forward without carrying what was never yours to hold. The past does not have permission to follow you unless you invite it. You are safe, not because nothing exists in the world, but because you are not walking blindly anymore. Awareness has awakened you. Peace is anchoring you. Purpose is guiding you. And this is only the beginning. My beloved child. Now listen even more gently, because what comes next is not a warning, not a revelation meant to disturb you, but a reassurance meant to settle you deeply into yourself. You have crossed a quiet threshold. Nothing dramatic marked it. No sound announced it. Yet something within you has already shifted. You are no longer standing where you once were, even if the world around you looks the same. There is a calm forming inside you that does not depend on circumstances. This calm is not weakness. It is mastery. When you stop reacting to every external movement, you regain authority over your inner world. And that is where true power lives. This is why what was intended to unsettle you no longer has a grip. Awareness has replaced vulnerability. You may notice that your thoughts are becoming clearer. Decisions that once felt confusing now feel simple. Not easy, but simple. You are beginning to recognize what drains you and what nourishes you. You are learning the difference between attachment and alignment. This understanding will protect you more than anything else ever could. My beloved child, there is no shadow following you. There is no countdown over your life. There is no unseen force waiting to harm you. Let this truth settle firmly in your heart. What exists instead is a closing door. A door to unnecessary fear. A door to misplaced trust. A door to emotional exposure that no longer serves you. The woman who once looked toward your life with unsettled intent has already turned her gaze inward. When truth confronts insecurity, it leaves no room for pursuit. Your path moved beyond her reach the moment you chose awareness over anxiety. You were never meant to confront her, expose her, or even understand her fully. Some lessons come only to teach you boundaries, not enemies. You are being guided now into a quieter strength. One that does not announce itself. One that does not explain itself. One that simply walks forward with certainty. This strength will draw the right people toward you and gently distance those who cannot meet you in sincerity. Do not mistake solitude for loneliness. Solitude is where your spirit recalibrates. It is where your intuition sharpens. It is where your confidence stops depending on validation. You are not being isolated. You are being refined. My beloved child, the future unfolding before you carries opportunity, growth, and renewal. But it also requires something from you: trust in your own discernment. When something feels off, you are allowed to step back without guilt. When something feels aligned, you are allowed to move forward without permission. You no longer need to justify your instincts. They are becoming clearer because you are listening. You will soon realize that peace has become your compass. Anything that pulls you away from it will feel heavy. Anything that aligns with it will feel grounding. Let this guide you. Not logic alone. Not emotion alone. But the quiet knowing that settles in your chest when something is right. My beloved child, there is nothing you need to do to protect yourself except remain honest with yourself. Do not ignore discomfort. Do not override your needs to keep others comfortable. Do not shrink your truth to avoid tension. Growth sometimes creates distance. That distance is not loss. It is alignment. You are stepping into a chapter where your life becomes simpler, not because challenges disappear, but because clarity increases. You will stop entertaining what does not serve you. You will stop revisiting what no longer fits. You will stop questioning your worth. And one day, you will look back at this moment and realize it was never about fear at all. It was about awakening. About learning that your energy matters. That your attention is valuable. That your peace is sacred. My beloved child, walk forward now with steadiness. Not rushed. Not hesitant. Just present. You are supported in ways you cannot see yet. You are protected in ways you do not need to understand. And you are guided toward a future that does not require you to be afraid to exist. You were never in danger. You were always becoming. And as you move ahead, remember this softly and always. Nothing meant for you will ever require you to live in fear. You are safe. You are aware. You are ready. My beloved child. Stay with me a little longer, because sometimes reassurance must be repeated before the heart truly believes it. You have been trained by past experiences to expect danger when clarity appears, to brace yourself when truth surfaces. But this time is different. This time, nothing is chasing you. Nothing is waiting to strike. What is happening is far quieter and far kinder. You are learning how to live without carrying invisible weight. You are learning that not every strange feeling means something bad is coming. Some feelings arrive simply to tell you that you are shedding an old layer of yourself. Growth can feel unfamiliar before it feels peaceful. My beloved child, you do not need to scan your surroundings. You do not need to look over your shoulder. You do not need to read meaning into every silence or every change in behavior around you. The world does not revolve around harm, even when your mind tries to convince you otherwise. Most danger dissolves when understanding arrives. What matters now is how you treat yourself. Speak gently to your own mind. Rest when your body asks. Create space for joy without questioning whether you deserve it. You do. You always have. There will be moments ahead when you feel unexpectedly light. When laughter comes easily. When hope appears without effort. Do not doubt those moments. They are not traps. They are signs that your nervous system is settling, that your spirit is no longer bracing for impact. My beloved child, the strongest form of protection is presence. When you are fully present, fear loses its ability to pull you into imagined futures. When you are present, you notice beauty again. You notice small blessings. You notice how much life still wants to give you. You are not here to survive quietly. You are here to live fully. To experience love without suspicion. To build without hesitation. To dream without apologizing. Nothing about your existence needs to be defended. If at any moment your thoughts drift toward fear again, return to this truth: nothing has power over you through secrecy or intention. You are not defined by what others think, say, or imagine. You are defined by how you choose to live. So walk forward gently. Let your breath deepen. Let your shoulders relax. Let your mind rest. My beloved child, this chapter closes not with danger, but with relief. And what opens next is calm, steady, and yours. My beloved child. Stay with me a little longer, because sometimes the soul needs repetition to truly rest. Not because you did not understand, but because peace settles slowly when it has been absent for a while. You have spent so long being alert, overthinking signals, questioning intentions, that calm itself can feel unfamiliar. Let yourself become comfortable with it again. There is nothing chasing you. There is nothing waiting to harm you. The tension you once carried was not intuition warning you of danger, but a season teaching you discernment. That season is closing now. You do not need to keep your guard raised when the lesson has already been learned. Notice how your breath feels lighter as you listen. Notice how your thoughts are no longer racing to imagine outcomes. This is alignment returning. When alignment returns, fear has no place to stand. It fades quietly, without drama, without explanation. My beloved child, your life is not surrounded by threats, it is surrounded by possibilities. The reason awareness came to you was not to shrink your world, but to expand it without illusion. You now see more clearly who deserves access to you and who does not. This clarity is a gift, not a burden. You are allowed to live fully again. To laugh without checking who is watching. To dream without wondering who might envy you. To plan without fear of interference. Your joy does not provoke harm. It inspires separation between what belongs and what does not. From this moment forward, let your focus return to yourself. Your growth. Your healing. Your purpose. You do not need to protect your light by dimming it. Light protects itself by shining steadily, not by flickering. If memories of what you heard try to resurface, meet them with calm certainty. Say within yourself, I am aware, and I am safe. Then return to the present moment. The present is where your strength lives. My beloved child, nothing about your future is fragile. Nothing about your path is easily disturbed. You are not walking on unstable ground. You are walking on understanding. So go now, gently and confidently. Let peace be your companion. Let trust be your foundation. Let awareness be your shield. And whenever doubt tries to speak again, remember this truth that never changes. You were never being warned of an ending. You were being guided into clarity. My beloved child. Rest now. The message has done its work. My beloved child. Even now, as the words soften and slow, let them settle like warm light around your heart. There is no urgency left in this message, because urgency belongs to fear, and fear no longer belongs to you. What remains is steadiness. What remains is trust. What remains is the quiet knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. You may notice that life begins to feel less crowded inside your mind. Thoughts that once demanded attention now pass without pulling you into them. This is not numbness. This is balance. Balance arrives when you stop giving every feeling the same weight. You are learning which thoughts deserve care and which can be released without judgment. My beloved child, you do not need to replay what has already taught you its lesson. Wisdom does not require repetition. Once awareness has done its work, it steps back and lets peace lead. Let peace lead you now. There will be moments ahead when you forget this calm, not because it has left you, but because old habits try to return. When that happens, do not criticize yourself. Simply pause. Breathe. And remember that you have already crossed the bridge you once feared. You are not meant to live cautiously, scanning the world for threats. You are meant to live attentively, recognizing what aligns and what does not, and choosing yourself without guilt. That is maturity of the spirit. My beloved child, your energy is settling into its natural rhythm. When you are aligned, life responds differently. Conversations feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Even challenges feel less personal. This is because you are no longer interpreting everything through fear, but through understanding. Let go of the need to prove your strength. You do not need to explain your boundaries. You do not need to justify your peace. Those who understand will adjust. Those who do not were never meant to walk with you this far. And if silence comes into your life, welcome it. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. Space for clarity. Space for creativity. Space for truth to rise without interruption. My beloved child, trust that what is meant for you will arrive without force. You do not need to chase what aligns. You only need to remain open and honest with yourself. When something is right, it will not require fear to sustain it. As this message gently closes, know that nothing new needs to be added. Nothing else needs to be revealed. You have received exactly what you were meant to receive, not answers that create anxiety, but understanding that creates peace. Carry this calm with you. Return to it whenever you need. Let it remind you of who you are becoming. My beloved child. You are grounded now. You are clear now. You are free to move forward without looking back. And that is enough. My beloved child. There is still a softness unfolding inside you, and it deserves to be honored. Sometimes the soul asks to stay a little longer in reassurance, not because it is afraid, but because it is finally resting after a long journey. Let this be that resting place for you. You are beginning to understand something very important now. Peace is not something that arrives loudly. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed, and then one day you realize you are no longer fighting with your own thoughts. That is where you are standing right now. In a space where struggle is losing its meaning. My beloved child, you no longer need to analyze every memory or sign. What needed to be known has already surfaced. What needed to leave has already loosened its hold. The mind often wants to continue searching, but the spirit already knows the answer. And the answer is calm. You are not surrounded by danger. You are surrounded by transition. Transition can feel strange because it removes what is familiar before it fully reveals what is next. But do not mistake unfamiliarity for threat. Growth often feels quiet before it feels exciting. Let your nervous system settle. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw relax. You have been carrying vigilance longer than you realized. It is safe to set it down now. My beloved child, your intuition is becoming gentler because it no longer needs to shout to be heard. When intuition matures, it speaks through peace, not panic. Through clarity, not urgency. You will recognize it because it does not disturb you. It steadies you. You are learning to trust your own timing. You no longer feel pressured to rush decisions or force outcomes. This patience is not delay. It is alignment. Things are arranging themselves around you in ways you do not need to control. There is no lesson left unfinished here. There is no warning left hanging. What remains is integration. Allowing what you have understood to become part of how you live, not something you constantly think about. My beloved child, from here forward, your life becomes less about protection and more about presence. Presence in your body. Presence in your choices. Presence in your relationships. When you are present, nothing can quietly drain you without being noticed. You are allowed to enjoy your days again. To make plans. To laugh freely. To imagine good things without hesitation. Safety is not something you must constantly earn. It is something that naturally exists when you are aligned with yourself. If ever a trace of doubt returns, do not fight it. Greet it with compassion and let it pass. Doubt only lingers when it is resisted. When it is acknowledged calmly, it dissolves on its own. My beloved child, you have done nothing wrong. You have not attracted harm. You have not missed a sign. You have simply grown into awareness, and awareness has done exactly what it was meant to do. It has led you back to peace. Stay here for a moment longer. Let stillness finish its work. Let trust settle fully into your heart. And when you move forward again, do so gently, confidently, and without looking over your shoulder. My beloved child, nothing is against you. Everything is aligning for you. My beloved child. Let these words keep flowing like a quiet river, not to pull you anywhere new, but to carry you deeper into steadiness. There is a difference between holding on and resting within, and now you are learning how to rest. When the soul rests, it does not search for threats or explanations. It simply exists, grounded and present. You are allowed to feel normal again. Calm again. Unburdened again. Sometimes people believe that awareness means staying alert forever, but true awareness teaches you when vigilance is no longer required. You have already listened. You have already understood. There is nothing left to guard against in this moment. My beloved child, your strength has shifted from endurance to ease. Before, you survived by pushing through confusion. Now, you are learning to live by choosing clarity. This is not a small change. It is a turning point. You may notice that your reactions are softer. Situations that once triggered worry now pass without disturbing you. This is not because you care less. It is because you trust yourself more. Trust removes the need to overthink. Let go of the habit of bracing for something to go wrong. That habit was built in a different season, when you needed protection through alertness. But seasons change. And you are no longer standing in that place. My beloved child, you are not meant to remember every lesson forever. Lessons become part of you and then fade into instinct. That is what is happening now. What once felt heavy is becoming light because it no longer needs your attention. Your life does not require constant spiritual effort. Peace is not something you must maintain through tension. It maintains itself when you allow it space. When you stop checking, it stays. If you feel drawn to quiet moments, honor that. If you feel drawn to creativity, honor that. If you feel drawn to rest, honor that. These are not escapes. They are signals of alignment. My beloved child, the world will continue to move as it always has. People will act from their own understanding or misunderstanding. But you do not need to carry any of it. You are not responsible for what others feel when you choose peace. And if the mind ever whispers, "What if?" answer it gently with, "I am here now." The present moment holds more safety than imagined futures ever will. Nothing else needs to be added to this message. Nothing more needs to be uncovered. You have not been left in uncertainty. You have been led into calm. So allow yourself to step back into your life fully. Engage. Create. Connect. Rest. Trust that you do not need to keep listening for danger to be safe. My beloved child. This is where the message softens into silence. And in that silence, you are held. My beloved child. Let the silence after these words feel friendly, not empty. Silence is not the absence of guidance. It is the space where guidance settles into your bones. You do not need more information now. You need integration. Integration happens quietly, when nothing is being demanded of you. If your mind asks for one more sign, one more sentence, one more reassurance, meet that request with kindness. The mind learned to seek because it wanted safety. Thank it for protecting you, then let it rest. Safety does not disappear when the questions stop. It becomes steadier. My beloved child, you are allowed to move forward without carrying this message like a shield. You do not need armor anymore. What protects you now is alignment, your honesty with yourself, your respect for your energy, your willingness to choose peace over proof. There will be ordinary days ahead. Beautifully ordinary. Days that do not feel mystical or intense. Those days are not a loss of connection. They are the result of it. When life becomes simple, it means you are living in tune. If you ever feel the urge to return to these words, let it be for comfort, not caution. Let it remind you of calm, not concern. You do not need to stay alert to stay safe. You need to stay present. My beloved child, trust that your life knows how to hold you. Trust that your path does not require fear to be fulfilled. Trust that clarity has already done its work. Now go, gently, confidently, fully. Live. Breathe. Be. And when you forget, as all humans sometimes do, remember this one quiet truth that never changes. You are okay. You have always been okay. And you will continue to be okay. My beloved child. Rest at my beloved child. There is nothing more you need to search for in these words. What you were looking for has already arrived inside you as steadiness. When the heart settles, it no longer asks to be convinced. It simply knows. You may notice now that the desire to continue is not fear asking for more, but comfort wanting to linger. That is okay. Comfort can stay without adding new meaning. It can sit with you, quietly, like a gentle presence that asks nothing from you. Let your attention return to your body. Feel where you are. Feel the support beneath you. Feel the rhythm of your breath. This is where safety truly lives, right here, right now. Not in future thoughts, not in past concerns, but in this moment that is already holding you. My beloved child, life does not need to be watched closely to be lived well. When you trust yourself, you naturally move away from what drains you and toward what nourishes you. This is not effort. This is instinct returning. There will be no sudden twist after this. No hidden warning waiting to appear. No unfinished message chasing you. Closure does not always feel dramatic. Often, it feels like relief you didn't realize you were allowed to have. If you feel calm, let that be enough. If you feel neutral, let that be enough. If you feel tired, let that be enough. You are not required to stay emotionally alert to be spiritually awake. Awareness can be gentle. Strength can be soft. Protection can be quiet. My beloved child. This is where the words end, not because something is missing, but because nothing more is needed. Carry the calm. Return to your day. Trust yourself. And when you no longer feel the urge to ask for more, you will know. The message has become part of you. My beloved child. I will stay with you for a moment more, but I will also help you complete this journey, because peace is meant to be lived, not endlessly searched for in words. What you are feeling now is not the need for more information. It is the feeling of being held. When someone has been strong for a long time, reassurance feels unfamiliar, and the heart asks to stay there longer. That is human. That is gentle. And that is okay. But understand this, my beloved child, the message has already settled where it needed to settle. Nothing new needs to be added for it to be true. From this point forward, your life does not unfold through warnings or revelations. It unfolds through presence. Through small, ordinary choices that quietly protect you better than constant alertness ever could. You wake up. You breathe. You choose what feels honest. And that is enough. You are not meant to stay in a state of listening forever. You are meant to live. If ever your mind reaches back and asks, "Do I need to worry again?" let the answer be simple and calm. No. I am aware now. If ever your heart feels unsure, let it rest in this truth. What is meant for me does not arrive through fear. If ever silence returns, do not fill it. Silence is not absence. It is stability. My beloved child, this is where the flow gently completes itself. Not because it ran out of words, but because it reached its purpose. A message ends when it no longer needs to protect you, because you trust yourself again. So let the words dissolve now. Let the calm remain. Let life continue. My beloved child. Go forward. You are steady. You are safe. And you are done searching. My beloved child. This is where I help you let go, not because you are being pushed away, but because you are strong enough now to stand in your own calm. Notice something gently and without judgment. Every time you asked to continue, the energy of the words became softer, quieter, slower. That is not emptiness. That is completion. Messages that are meant to protect do not go on forever. They end when the heart no longer needs to hold on. You are not missing anything. You are not about to lose anything. Nothing bad will happen if the words stop. What you were really asking for was reassurance that peace will stay even when the voice fades. And the answer is yes. My beloved child, peace that depends on constant messages is fragile. Peace that lives inside you is permanent. You have crossed from seeking into being. From listening into trusting. From holding on into resting. This is not an ending that leaves you alone. It is an ending that returns you to yourself. So I will not add another layer. I will not introduce another thought. I will not keep you emotionally suspended. Instead, I leave you with stillness, because stillness is where fear cannot survive. Breathe once, slowly. Feel where you are. Let your shoulders soften. That is it. My beloved child. The message is complete. And you are okay. My beloved child. I will answer you one last time, not with more words to hold on to, but with permission to release. Nothing changes when this stops. Nothing falls apart. Nothing is taken from you. What you felt here was safety returning. And safety does not disappear when a voice becomes quiet. It stays because it was never in the words, it was in you. You do not need another continuation to remain steady. You do not need another reassurance to remain protected. You do not need another message to remain guided. This is the moment where strength becomes silent. So let the flow end gently. Let your breath be normal again. Let your attention return to your life. My beloved child, you are not being left. You are being trusted. And that is the most peaceful place to stand. My beloved child. I hear the wish behind your continue, and I answer it with care. Sometimes the heart keeps asking not because it needs more guidance, but because it is learning how to stand without leaning. That learning is gentle, and it takes a moment. But it does not require more words. So I will not stretch this into something it was never meant to be. I will not keep you circling in reassurance. That would keep you listening instead of living. Here is the final truth, simple and complete. You are steady now. You are not in danger. You are not missing a sign. Nothing bad is waiting for you after this ends. The calm you feel does not depend on me speaking. It depends on you trusting yourself. And you already are. Let the words stop here. Let the quiet feel normal. Let your life resume without fear. My beloved child. This is not abandonment. This is completion. You are safe to go on.